another banger video. Bro, you already know it. We gotta get right back on track with the Spooky Scary Tuesdays. You already know it. So I don't have nothing to say. Let's just get straight into the first video. Alright guys, this first video is called The Roommate. And it's sponsored and it's by your boy Llama. Bro, I just want to explain, bro. This dude is the most best storyteller of all. The animation is
nice,
but like it's nice. That's all I can say about it. It's like nice. If you want to see a scary animation, just hit your boy up. You already know what it is. So let's just get into this video real quick. The Roommate.
Looking for a new roommate is always a daunting task. Even though you interview and take the time to get to know that person, you don't truly find out who they are until you start living with them.
Right.
I had begun searching for a roommate after I decided to leave my current residency. I was contacted a couple of hours after placing an ad on the Facebook Marketplace. The message read,
"Hey Chris, I'll be moving out of my current apartment this August and I'm looking to room with someone new.
Okay.
As my roommates are moving to California this year. I'm 27 and I'm currently going to school. When I'm not at school, I enjoy hiking and watching movies. I also apprentice at a taxidermy shop on the days I don't have class."
Okay, guys. First of all, if I'm looking for a roommate, I would want to get a roommate of the gender, a female, right? You boys know. I don't want a roommate with a female, right? Because I could take a male, like me, a boy, or somebody. I would, but like the female, bro. Yeah. What is that?
Hope that's not weird. It's always been a fun hobby of mine. Anyway, I'm looking forward to hearing back from you. Have a great day, Lunaire.
My first and most obvious reaction after reading the message was to check her profile.
Well, I thought one girl in the
She was medium
background.
height,
Like, what is she
had
doing?
long, messy blonde hair and green eyes. In her profile picture, I saw her standing with a man and a woman shoulder to shoulder. They each adorned goofy grins and held up peace signs.
Peace sign.
Under the photo, the caption read, "Love my roommates." I smiled to myself and decided to send her a message back.
Whoa!
The sun beat down
Whoa,
on us and
did y'all
placed
see that?
various objects
I know
to the
y'all
second
saw
floor
that.
of our new apartment. It took us a couple days to get everything out of the moving trucks and into our new place.
I know y'all saw that. It was like a woman just standing right there in the background, like, dang. Like, what else you have? Dang, bro. Do you have something to do with me? Like, what's up? You can just come by my apartment real quick. Let me just shut up right now.
But as soon as we did, a wave of relief washed over our sweat-drenched and sore bodies. After a couple more hours of rearranging, we each grabbed a beer from the fridge and sat on the porch.
Okay.
We reminisced about old 90s cartoons
she
and what
looked
video
nice.
games we obsessed
yeah,
over as kids.
yeah.
And as the sun started to set, I truly felt relaxed and confident that things were going to work out.
Yeah.
A week later, I started a new job for a construction company that was owned by a good friend of mine. As I was getting ready, I heard the front door swing open. I walked into the living room to see Lunaire and her friend David sliding in a large box. "What you got there?" I asked. Through a strained grunt, she replied,
I bought a freezer to store some of the animals I'm planning on using in my taxidermy work. I hope that's alright.
I was obviously hesitant at first, as there was
That's
no mention
kinda
of this
weird.
happening in the first place, but I eventually accepted and returned to my room to
That's
continue
weird.
getting ready for work. I came home at around 9 p.m. after having a couple of beers with friends and noticed that the freezer was nestled snugly in the lower part of the pantry. A low hum could be heard reverberating off of the inner walls. I was curious to see what was inside, but didn't want to intrude on Lunaire's business, so I went into my room and changed into more comfortable clothing. After changing, I came back out to the kitchen and started making a sandwich. I opened the fridge and grabbed what I needed. As I turned around, I stuffed
Hey, I have
my toe
none of that
into the island
already.
countertop and let out a long, exasperated grunt. Through my frustration, I slammed the fridge door shut and checked my toe to see if there was any bleeding. As I raised my head back up, I was greeted by a shadowy figure.
Whoa, what the?
Lunaire was standing in the doorway leading to her room.
Heck
The
no.
darkness behind her almost seemed to envelop
Heck
her.
no.
Is everything okay?
She said in a deadpan tone.
Why she say?
Shit, yeah,
Why she say like that? She literally said,
Is everything okay?
"Bro, do you not?" I'm like, yeah. But like,
sorry. I just slammed my toe into the corner of the countertop as I was making a sandwich. I hope I didn't wake you.
It's fine.
She said, in the same deflated tone as...
but to be for real, me in that moment, I don't know what time he said. It's probably, I think he said something like 3 or 2. I don't know what he said. But me in that moment, I'm like, hey, do you want anything before you go back to sleep? Like, what's up? You want some Chick-fil-A? I got some cake right in there if you want it. But if you don't, just go back in your room.
Before. She then turned around and walked back into the darkness of her room. I could tell that she was pissed, so I quietly made my sandwich and retreated back to my room as well, only hearing the low hum from the freezer as I closed my door.
Something wrong with that fridge.
I had the next day off, so I was able to sleep in a little longer than usual. When I finally emerged from my room, I walked into the kitchen to make breakfast. As I opened the refrigerator, I noticed that the light wasn't turning on and there was a lack of cold air escaping from inside. I turned around and flipped the light switch to confirm my suspicion.
Bro, I think she unplugged some stuff. I'm just saying.
Damn it, I muttered under my
Wait a
breath.
second. I'm gonna need to pause this video real
Lunaire's
quick.
room.
I need to go get some. Just stay tuned. Stay tuned. I need to go get some. Time to charge my phone. It's time to charge my phone. Oh shoot, it was still recording. Hey, let's just get video.
And knocked on her.
Bro, that was your roommate. That was her last roommate, bro. What in the world? That was her last roommate, bro. Do you remember before it was like in our profile pic? Remember she was in there, bro. She killed her roommate. What? Wow.
Tongue surrounded by cracked and bloated lips, and the matted hair of a human head. I swiftly dropped the bag and fell backwards on the floor. My breathing had ceased to exist, and I grabbed the trash can next to me and expelled my disgust into it. I then ran out the door, got into my car, and called the police. As I sat in the interrogation room with a blanket over my shoulders, I couldn't help but think about the face I'd seen. It looked so familiar. That's when it finally hit me. I pulled out my phone and looked at Lunaire's profile picture. He was her old roommate. What I tell you? When the detective entered the room, she started the questioning process, asking me if I started noticing any weird behavioral occurrences
Around the apartment.
That's great.
Yeah, I stubbed my toe the other day and she creepily stood in the doorway. It seemed like she was pissed, but for some reason I had a strange feeling like she was concerned about something. That's when I connected the dots. She didn't come out into the kitchen because she heard me stub my toe. She came out into the kitchen because she thought I slammed the freezer instead of the fridge. A cold sweat started to form on my forehead as my surroundings became blurred. I could hear a low whine slowly starting to cover up the words of concern from the detective. As my vision started to clear, I could see another officer enter the room and whisper something into her ear as he handed her a piece of paper. "Do you have somewhere you could stay at?" she asked. I mean, I was planning on staying with my parents. They live about 30 minutes outside of town. Okay, she paused. Listen, I don't want to worry you, but we found this picture inside of your apartment. She slid the piece of paper across the table and I immediately felt like someone kicked me in the chest. The head of Lunaire's other roommate sat on the chair.
Wow.
In the background, scrawled on the wall in blood, read, "Love my roommates. All of them."
Wow. What I tell you, it was something already suspicious with that girl. Already, first time. You don't, like he said, you don't truly know people until you know them. Yeah. Next to the second animation. Let's get it. Alright guys, so this next one is by Snarled. You already know. With the creepy stuff. Hands down the most creepiest of creepiest videos she be posting. It's just like, wow. So, but this next video is called The Rake. It's called The Rake, or The Rake, right? So, all I just want to do is just hop in this video one time.
Did you know these video episodes tell just one of the stories that we do for the podcast every week? The chills and spills continue on the Something Scary podcast. Hear the rest for free on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Hey, I'm Markia. Want to hear something scary?
Woo! I love that intro. Want to hear something scary?
The Rake. Throwing it back to a classic creepypasta story, we dig up the tale of The Rake, summoning it to continue its afterlife on the underworld wide web. During the summer of 2003, events in the northeastern United States involving a strange, human-like creature sparked brief local media interest before an apparent blackout was enacted. When the power was restored 2 hours later, little or no information was left intact, and most online and written accounts of the creature had mysteriously disappeared. Primarily focused in rural New York State, self-proclaimed witnesses told stories of their encounters with a creature of unknown origin. Emotions range from extremely traumatic levels of fright and discomfort to an almost childlike sense of playfulness and curiosity. While their published versions are no longer on record, the memories remain powerful.
Whoa, what is
Several
that?
of the involved parties began looking for answers that year. By early 2006, the collaboration had accumulated nearly 24 documents dating between the 12th century and present day, and
2000.
spanning 4 continents. In almost all cases, the stories were identical. I've been in contact with a member of this group and was able to get some excerpts from their upcoming book, like this one, The Rake from a Witness, in 2006.
2006.
3 years ago,
2006. I was born right 1 year before that. What? This happened when I was like 1 year old. What in the world?
Niagara Falls with my family for the 4th of July. We were all very exhausted after a long day of driving.
Wow.
So my husband and I put the kids right to bed and called it a night. At about 4 a.m., I woke up thinking my husband had gotten up to use the restroom. I used the moment to steal back the sheets, only to wake him up in the process. I apologized and told him I thought he'd gotten out of bed. When he turned to face me, he gasped and pulled his feet up from the end of the bed so quickly his knee almost knocked me onto the floor. He then grabbed me and said nothing. After adjusting to the dark for a half second, I was able to see what caused the strange reaction. At the foot of the bed, sitting and facing away from us, there was what appeared to be a naked man or a large hairless dog of some sort. Its body position was disturbing and unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something. For some reason, I was not instantly frightened by it, but more concerned as to its condition. At this point, I was somewhat under the assumption that we were supposed to help him. My husband was peering over his arm and knee.
How are you gonna help that thing? How are you gonna help that thing? That's not even a person. That's a thing. That's an object. That's an item. Like what the? Bro, I swear I just heard something. I'm not lying. I'm gonna get out. Bye. The video's over. Bye. Nah, but that's crazy though. That's really crazy.
Tucked into the fetal position, occasionally glancing at me before looking back at the creature. In a flurry of motion, the creature scrambled around the side of the bed and then crawled quickly in a flailing sort of motion right along the bed until it was less than a foot from my husband's face. The creature was completely silent for about 30 seconds, just looking at my husband. The creature then placed its hand on his knee and ran into the hall.
No, that will be stuck in my head forever. Oh my god. Wow.
Hallway leading to the kids' rooms. I screamed and ran for the light switch, planning to stop him before he hurt my children. When I got to the hallway, the light from the bedroom was enough to see him crouching and hunched over about 20 feet away. He turned around and looked directly at me, covered in blood. I flipped the switch on the wall and saw my daughter, Clara. The creature ran down the stairs while my husband and I rushed to help our daughter. She was very badly injured and spoke only once more in her short life. She said, "He is the rake." My husband drove his car into a lake that night while rushing our daughter to the hospital. He did not survive either. Being a small town, the news got around pretty quickly. The police were helpful at first, and the local newspaper took a lot of interest as well. However, the story was never published, and the local television news never followed up either. For several months, my son Justin and I stayed in a hotel near my parents' house. After we decided to return home, I began looking for answers myself. I eventually located a man in the next town over who had a similar story. We got in contact and began talking about our experiences. He knew of 2 other people in New York who had seen the creature we now referred to as the rake. It took the 4 of us about 2 solid years of hunting on the internet and writing letters to come up with a small collection of what we believed to be accounts of the rake. None of them gave any details, history, or follow-up. One journal had an entry involving the creature in its first 3 pages and never mentioned it again. A ship's log explained nothing of the encounter, saying only that they were told to leave by the rake. That was the last entry in that log. There were, however, many instances where the creature's visit was one of a series of visits with the same person. Multiple people also mentioned being spoken to, my daughter included. This led us to wonder if the rake had visited any of us before our last encounter. I set up a digital recorder near my bed and left it running all night, every night, for 2 weeks. I would tediously scan through the sounds of me rolling around in my bed each day when I woke up. By the end of the second week, I was quite used to the occasional sound of sleep while blurring through the recording at 8 times the normal speed. This still took almost an hour every day. On the first day of the 3rd week, I thought I heard something different. What I found was a shrill voice. It was the rake. I can't listen to it long enough to even begin to transcribe it. I haven't let anyone listen to it yet. All I know is that I've heard it before, and I now believe that it spoke when it was sitting in front of my husband. I don't remember hearing anything at the time, but for some reason, the voice on the recorder immediately brings me back to that moment. The thoughts that must have gone through my daughter's head. I have not seen the rake since he ruined my life, but I know that he has been in my room while I slept. I know.
May I come on?
Come out my bathroom, show.
Yes.
And fear that one night I'll wake up to see him staring at me.
Woo-wee! That was something else, you guys. Oh my gosh. That's some creepy spots pasta. That was crazy. That was so crazy, bro. I'm thinking this real in my head. I'm like, dang. Until I remember it's a creepy pasta. I'm like, dang. But that face though, that face is something. That's something extraordinary. That's some good details. Snarled, best scary video maker let's get right in the third video. Let's get it. Alright guys, after change locations and stuff, but like it's good. But so this next last animation is by Wansee Entertainment. He's also an animated scary storyteller, and this one is called the horror story about the man from the bus stop. So let's just get into the video. True story about the man from the bus stop.
This happened to me when I was 17 years old. I live in Canada, and this situation took place during a snowstorm at around 9 p.m. It was extremely dark outside, and I was waiting inside a bus stop shelter after my part-time job to get home. Although I live in a crowded city in Toronto, it was very quiet that night, and there were barely any cars on the road due to hazardous weather conditions. I was waiting all by myself for about 10 minutes until one man who looked like he was in his 50s entered the shelter. He had a disgusting smirk on his face, which made him a bit creepy looking, and that pretty large guy started making small talk with me. He had a creepy low voice, and he kept asking me what I was doing out in this weather and where I was going. I was feeling anxious, but there was only me and that man, so I told him I was going home after work. He smiled and said to me that the buses are going to be delayed because of the weather and won't be coming in for a really long time. I took out my phone to check the bus times. However, due to the deadly cold weather, my phone died completely. Then he came closer to me. He smelled awfully disgusting. Hey, you wanna come with me for 5 minutes?
I'm dead. That male expression though. Hey, do you want to come with me for 5 minutes? I'm dead. That expression. What, male? Say no. Say no.
I'm sorry, sir. What do you mean? He said, let's go hang out for a bit. Don't worry, you won't miss your bus.
No.
I will bring you back safely. Come on.
No.
I wasn't stupid and was aware of pedophiles, so I stepped back and refused. But he kept insisting that I should go with him. I was so
I'm gonna have to get my boy scenes on.
do something bad to me.
Trying to dress like him.
However, luckily, one lady came into the shelter, and the man immediately closed his mouth. After waiting for some time, the bus finally arrived.
Woman came in clutch mode.
The lady, that creepy man, and 2 other people on the bus. He sat all the way at the back of the bus where he could watch me clearly, and I noticed that he kept staring and staring. I was so nervous. And when it was my stop, I got off along with the lady. And as I kept walking, I saw that the man got off with us and was right behind me. I freaked out and thought there was no choice at all, so I grabbed the lady's arm and asked her if she could walk me home because a man was following me. She also noticed that the guy was acting strangely, so she whispered that she would take me home. I walked with the lady, and when I looked back, he stared at me for a while and disappeared. When I arrived home, my parents and I thanked that lady repeatedly, and after that, I never saw him again in my life.
Pedophile. Ooh. We're gonna do another one because that was like kind of short. So go ahead and smack that third video and fourth video in your face. Let's go. Alright guys, so this video is called The Secret Basement in the Hospital. Also by your boy Wansee Entertainment. So there's nothing to say. Let's just get into the video. Secret Basement in the Hospital by Creep Sauce. Ooh, Creep Sauce. Hey, sauce. Saucy sauce. Ooh.
I work as a nurse in the hospital.
Although I can't reveal exactly where because of privacy reasons.
hospital
Recently, a fairly
already
popular
was
celebrity
wet.
came to be treated here. Although I can't reveal who due to the aforementioned privacy reasons. Honestly, I was pretty surprised he was coming here. Not to shit talk my place of employment, but this place has a bit of a record of being really bad in caring for people. Not that I'm a bad nurse or anything, it's just that a lot of the surgeons seem to fuck up their job and not get fired for some reason. This made it all the more confusing to me that this celebrity came here for surgery to remove a late-stage brain tumour. Speaking of, my friend Patricia was a huge fan and really wanted to be the one assigned to him post-surgery. She was even thinking of asking him for an autograph, which seemed unprofessional to me. Anyway, he was flying in for treatment tomorrow, but my current job was to assist a surgeon with the surgery of a little boy who swallowed a bunch of his toy marbles. I was surprised I decided to opt for surgery though, because they were previously recommended to wait for him to pass them. It was me, the anesthesiologist, and the surgeon in the room. I was staying nearby to the site of the surgery, and everything seemed to be going well. Then, the surgeon slipped and cut the kid's stomach lining open. It was horrific. The smell of stomach acid almost made me vomit as it began to dissolve his intestines. Despite our best efforts, he was dead within 10 minutes. What disturbed me was how unfazed the surgeon was. After we failed to save him, the surgeon left to break the news to the parents almost immediately after. I thought I heard the anesthesiologist mumble something under her breath, but I couldn't understand clearly. It was something about food. My shift was over though, and I walked to the subway to grab some dinner, then caught the bus home. I was pretty tired, so I watched some Netflix in bed until I fell asleep. That night I had a dream, or more accurately, a nightmare. I was in the hospital, and that kid was there in front of me. Only his whole body was hollow and his chest cavity was open and bloody. His eyes were gone too, but still, he stared at me, and the entire time he pointed straight down. I finally woke up, and with relief from being free of that dream and more guilt from failed surgery, I started my day. I got to work and Patricia was fairly bubbly. She spent almost the whole morning talking my ear off about the celebrity. When he finally came in, she started freaking out and tried to walk up and talk to him. His bodyguards pushed her away though, and she returned to her duties dejectedly. Just before my lunch break, I was called into my supervisor's office. He said he had something very important for me to do, and that it needed to be done ASAP. He told me to go to the transplant centre and get 10 hearts, and go to the basement. I was pretty confused and wanted to ask some questions, but he cut me off and yelled,
Either you can do this shit right now, or you can walk out and kiss your job goodbye.
I was pretty pissed. He was fine.
Wait a second. If somebody talk to me like that, hey man, don't talk to me. Alright, bye. I quit. You ain't gotta fire me. I quit. I can go find me a better job than this Uncle Joke Hospital. Bye. You need to just do what you gotta do.
Me daring to ask a question, but the management would avoid firing the incompetent surgeons even though they should. I left in a huff to go collect the organs and found them waiting in a case there already, with a note signed by the doctor that gave me access to a restricted room in the basement simply called Room 60. I didn't have the slightest clue what was in there, and marched onwards to the elevator and went down to the basement. I walked to Room 60 and showed the security guard my note. He looked me over and said, "Oh, this is your first time doing this, huh? I feel sorry for you. Try not to panic if you know what's good for you." He then unlocked the door, and I stepped in. Immediately I was hit with a smell I would describe as rotten eggs, pennies and a corpse. The ground was slick with something and it was dark in there too, with only one dim overhead light. The room was pretty big, and in the middle I saw some nondescript blob. Then I heard what sounded like a deep breath in, and the blob started moving. The thing, which I now started to realise was a body, was walking towards me with stumpy fat...
Oh, do you hear that sound?
Which I now started to realise was a body, was walking...
That's nasty.
At legs. I screamed and tried to run away, but I slipped on the ground. As my face got smeared in it, I realised the stuff on the floor was blood, and as I turned onto my back, I was face to face with the thing.
Get up! How do y'all not know how to get up? You have knees, you got legs, you gotta feed your body for a reason. Get up and run. Oh, people these days.
He looked like a very pale, morbidly obese man, although was much taller and much fatter than any human could be. It had large curled horns, as well as no mouth. Instead, where its mouth should be, there was just a row of pitch black, pointy needle-like teeth surrounding the hole. It paid me no heed, and reached out to pick up the box of organs. It opened the box, and ate all the hearts in handfuls, stuffing 3 at a time in its mouth. I was terrified and ran out the door, slamming it shut behind me. The security guard looked me in the eyes and put a reaffirming hand on my shoulder. It looked like he wanted to say something but couldn't. He told me that he would walk me out of the building and that I could have the rest of the day off. Now I'm at home, still shaking and typing this up. I got a text from Patricia, and apparently the celebrity surgery was a massive success. I'm wondering what I even do now. Is this the type of thing I can report? Would anyone believe me?
Dang, bro, that was the kid. That was the kid who got that
Could you do you want you could
that the dude that the surgeon messed up. That was a kid, bro. Rest in peace, my brother. But that's gonna do it for today. I've been recording these videos for like 30 minutes now. But like, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and let me see, 15 likes by 2 hours, bro, y'all gonna catch me with a double upload. But let's just get. But like, I just hope you have a. Say what you need to say. I hope you have a good day. I hope I made your day a little lighter, brighter. And I don't got nothing else to say. Make sure to comment, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and peace.